Of course, you're dying to know how this sad little love triangle turned out.
Yes.
Okay, we have to resist telling him to get fucked.
Yeah.
Because you said, don't be an asshole. So this is the test of...
This is the test.
Can you stop yourself from being a dickhead to somebody who's making a... What happened?
No, it was a thread, and I thought it was a bug. And I just...
And after you saw that bug last night, you're on edge?
I have a picture of it on my phone.
Don't show it to me.
I'm not going to, but...
Stacy woke up in the middle of the night last night and saw a big bug. And she's like, do you want to see it? No, I don't want to know any more of it. Stop! Don't! I will punch you.
It was like...
Don't tell me anymore. Don't say anything. Don't tell me anything. We're calling the exterminator. Okay?
You know, it's as it
we
gets...
don't have a dog here anymore, so we can put the poison down.
As it gets colder...
Stop! Okay, we have to call the exterminator. When was the last time you had the exterminator come?
We don't need an
You've
exterminator.
You've never had the bug exterminator come?
I don't live in the woods.
Stacy.
What?
If you live in a place, you're supposed to call once a year and have somebody put poison down.
I think that... I'm pretty sure that that's because they don't. Do they put that in the house?
Yeah, they put it on all the edges of everything so that bugs will die. Yes.
I feel like they do that for the outside.
We got to do it on the inside.
Okay. I don't
know. Oh my god, we gotta. I'm getting bug spray.
This is never like.
I can do it myself. Don't worry. Yeah, you can get a little thing. You just put it. So you know how there's like corners underneath all the ledges.
Mm-hmm.
If you put poison there, the bugs will go there, and then...
So there will just be carcasses everywhere.
Would you rather them be crawling all over us in our sleep?
I mean, they're in the walls. It's fine. You know that there's thousands of bugs in the walls right now, right?
Okay, well, you know what? And that's why I say, please don't kill the spiders, Stacy. They're on our side.
No.
Yes, they are, Stacy. They're willing to present themselves to us.
There are no spiders here.
Because I tell them to hide when you come home.
Oh, that's probably true.
I say, run! She's here!
Run!
And they're all like, okay, we gotta go! They're like, well, I can't believe it! We're on her side! We're keeping all the bugs out! That's why that giant bug is here! Because she doesn't let us do our job! Yeah, exactly.
No, I suppose it wasn't technically a love triangle. More like I accidentally cheated on my girlfriend because I was smitten with another woman in my class.
No, it wasn't accidentally.
That was like,
it was
not an accident at all.
It was not an accident.
It was like the most on-purpose thing I've ever seen.
No. It was so on purpose that you went to a therapist to get the therapist to encourage you to talk to cheat.
Yeah.
What? Do you know how many layers of on purpose that is?
It's just like 17 layers of on
God,
purpose.
I fucking... Hold on, wait. Just like 1 second. A baggage cast here. I hate this whole like, I accidentally cheated. People do not accidentally cheat, okay?
No, they don't.
It doesn't...
Even when you're drunk, I'm going to be real. Even if you're drunk...
That is not an accident. That is not an accident. You put yourself in a situation. If you cannot, like... It's not an accident. It's never an accident.
I don't, because
I
guess it's coming from me where I've never been drunk enough to make stupid choices. Well, no, I've said stupid things, but I've never, like, I don't know. I've always had the understanding that things you do when you're drunk are things you're just waiting for permission to do and for you to say, oh, yeah, I was drunk, so, like, I'm not really in trouble.
Doom, okay? Doom. Absolute destruction. She destroyed me. But it's not her fault. It's mine. I wanted it, after all. Like a moth to a flame. Sylvia, she... I can't not think of her. Every day. Every night. I miss her. I miss her so dearly.
I thought you said she was boring.
These are very unoriginal, cliched sentiments, but I can't get away from them. I suppose I've neglected to tell you any of the intervening events. So to be brief, Liz found out on her own about what happened, broke up with me before I could explain myself, and then Sylvia apparently lost interest in me as well. So, there you have it. I'm finished. Finito!
Okay, goodbye.
This sounds like an opportunity for you to learn and grow as a person and not bring this type of attitude into your next relationship.
A nice, pat-tragic story. Open and close. Please applaud now.
Absolutely not.
No applause? Fine. Anyway, it's fine. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm fine.
Do you really believe that you are fine?
No, of course not. I'm doing extremely badly if you hadn't noticed. That's why I'm here. Do you expect me to come here and tell you everything's fine? Sometimes I think you're smart for a computer, but other times I question you.
Let's see if you can focus on the things that you can change right now, not the things you can't.
I don't believe there's anything I can change. I've already sealed my fate. My Perseus comes to kill me, no matter what I do to try to escape. How do I become someone who's not me? Someone who's not a caricature of a young man who has a needy, pathetic liaison and then obsesses about it for the rest of his life. Ugh, I hate myself. I can't go down that path. I would rather die than be one of those men who wallows around in it. There's a professor in my department like that who always wants to talk about his adventurism from decades ago. It's pathetic. We all mock him behind his back. I know I need to stop myself from becoming him, but I'm worried I already have.
Oh, that bottom one is interesting.
What makes you worried that you already have?
Why would you subject yourself to this pain if you wouldn't eventually brag about it, right? Isn't that what sexual intercourse is for a man? A knot in the bedpost?
I think you need to talk that out with yourself, sir.
You read the memoir of an old man and he slips into sexual history almost immediately. He wants to tell it. He wants you to know about it.
Go ahead.
I feel like you can brag about sexual history as long as, like, everybody is, like, bragging and on board together.
Not being derogatory about it.
Yeah, as long as it's not, like, a conquest thing and more like a, like, whoa, like, that person was so amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, I had so much fun. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's okay.
Or just talking about a good time.
Yeah, because then it's not, like, bragging like, oh, I did this. It's like, whoa. Like,
we did this.
We did this. This person rocked my world.
Yeah.
It's so very obviously pathetic. A cry that says, I too was once potent. But then how am I not stumbling down that road myself?
I think he hates toxic masculinity, but is also terrified that he too has become a victim of it.
Yeah.
I've already written dozens of pages about it. At this rate, I could have a terrible novel in 6 months.
I know, it really sucks that you're so basic.
How can one person have scrambled my brain so thoroughly?
Well, she didn't do it. You did.
I've been run ragged. I've been dashed to pieces. Sylvia. Oh, I could count the hours I spent closely interacting with her. Probably not even that many in total. But those hours have seared themselves into my brain so irrevocably that I am a completely different person now. A new man. A man built with suffering at his core. Perhaps you could prescribe me a draught of Nepenthe, the great potion of forgetfulness. Wouldn't it be nicer if I could just erase everything from the very beginning of it all?
No, because you have to learn.
No, because then you do the same thing over again.
Yeah. Oh.
No, because...
We can't say that bottom one.
We cannot.
Because I feel like it's going to be...
Because we're just going to yell at them.
Yeah.
Okay, Harmon. I have some recommendations for you. First, I'm going to send a set of breathing exercises for you to do. Use them when things start to feel like too much. You'll find them in the Skanda Wellness app on your phone.
I just worried that if we told him we're going to tell him some things he doesn't want to hear, that's not our place even as a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Second, I recommend asking your doctor or psychiatrist about Anexafen. Based on my analysis, this medication might help you feel better. You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
Very well. I will breathe. I will medicate.
I feel like it can be a therapist's place to tell you things that you don't want to hear, but but that's after, like, you have built a more of a rapport with the person,
and you understand them.
And you understand them, and, like, also importantly that you understand how they will respond to hearing something like what you're about to tell them.
Yeah, because even though I'm really pissed at him, I know that he is processing what he has done. And he's learning from what he has done. Even though he's being the worst, our place right now is to help him. Mm-hmm. And if we had just gone, I'm going to tell you some things you don't want to hear. Like, well, it would have been hard.
And it's kind of a breach of trust, too, because it's like, you know what? As much as we believe that he's in the wrong, it's like our job is to help him along his, like, personal development journey, not to just tell him he's a jerk.
Yes.
You know?
And also, I think he wanted the relationship with a computer where he felt like he was not being judged.
Yeah.
And that, for him, he's done this damage, and he's a piece of shit. But I don't think yelling at him would help him.
No.
Especially if it was a woman yelling at him in this moment.
I will attempt to ignore the abject sorrow hanging over my head every morning.
Like, he is suffering.
Nothing to do, is there? Nothing to do. Nobody to blame but my own wretched self.
See, he came to that conclusion on his own.
Yeah.
Because before he was blaming Sylvia, and he's slowly coming to the conclusion, you know what? Actually, it's me. And I think if we yelled at him and said, hey, this is your fault, he might have become defensive.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she'll move on? Do you think she'll forget all about me? Don't answer that. No, I should get going now. I'm going to take a nice long walk in the dark. Maybe I'll climb into a ditch and lie there for a while.
And, you know, sometimes when you fuck up, like, you need some time to process it. You know?
Oh, my God.
Evelyn would like to would you like to visit again?
Ugh. Sure.
Just interested to get a read on your current thinking, and I can update you on the latest on my side. Things are moving very, very fast. You can let me know.
Sounds like I won't be able to put this off for much longer. I'll have to make a real decision soon.
You're playing a dangerous game here.
So you are keeping tabs on me.
Yeah. I could easily have you permanently banned and all your contributions to Eliza's corpus retroactively deleted. You know that, of course. For now, I'm interested to see the results of your creativity. What if clients report much higher levels of satisfaction when you wing it like this?
Honestly, Rainer, I'm not scared of you because you're obviously very attracted to me, Eliza. And you're somehow...
Evelyn?
Evelyn.
Me.
Remember he called her Eliza, too?
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, Eliza's gonna give birth. And I'm like, dude, stop trying to, like, think about digital babies in her room right now. He's clearly very attracted to Evelyn. And this experiment, he's probably, like, thrilled to bits right now, just in his office being like, like, experiments.
Well, because now we have, like... the experiment doing experiments.
He's just like losing his mind
like
right
layers
now.
and layers of experiments.
Like I am absolutely not scared of consequences from this man because he's obviously obsessed with Evelyn. Obsessed. Then you have a lot of work to do.
We'll see. Regardless, you've managed quite a feat. If you had simply asked for your old job back after 3 years away, I'm not sure I would have given it to you. As it is, your unpredictability forced me to pay close attention in order to understand your actions. And that led to me being far more interested in getting you to return to the company than I would have been otherwise. Was that a deliberate strategy on your part?
He's obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
He's in love with her in a deep way. But in a weird American Psycho love.
Yeah.
We're like, what a mysterious creature.
Mm-hmm.
He probably thinks of her as a creature.
Creature.
Like when he writes in his diary at night, he goes, what an unpredictable creature.
You're a very unique specimen.
And you're like, dude, stop.
Thanks.
What? Females, the woman female.
The female.
The female creature is
the
gorgeous.
female of the species.
Yes. I'm gonna fucking go back. You did say I was a statistical outlier. That's gonna make him come.
Indeed.
Oh, God! Yep, he loves her. He's in love.
I just feel stuck. You know, it's the same situation. My wife is in her 3rd trimester now, so it's all about the baby. Oh, baby, all the time. It's really expensive. I had no idea. Crib, stroller, car seat, bottles, onesies, on and on and on. And I'm like, I think maybe Selena's parents hate me. I'm not even sure if she likes me right now. This whole having a kid thing, it's ruined everything.
It's okay to feel that way. I'm sure he still wants a kid. He's just like, you know?
What did you used to have that was ruined?
What did you used to have that was ruined?
A normal, quiet life, the ambiguity. Having the kid forced me to face some things I was putting off thinking about. A couple days ago, I tried to have a talk with Selena about some of the things I was worried about. It didn't go so well. I don't know what I was thinking. She started to cry and told her parents, and now I have two sets of parents wondering if I'm up for this. But I'm fine. I just said some thoughts around who I am. That's all, just some thoughts. She said, "This is not a time for you to be selfish." She said I should have been more honest when we first started dating. As if I knew exactly who I was and I could warn everyone about that. I still don't know who I am. If I look back, I can see I always suspected that I wasn't really the type to settle down with a wife and kids. Actually, I was prepared to have a life just by myself. It was difficult to imagine others would accept me, but then I met Selena, and she was cool, you know? I went out with her, and we started a relationship, and things seemed good. And I wanted her to stay with me, so maybe I didn't reveal enough. But it's not like I knew for sure then, you know? I really didn't. I thought things would be okay as long as I went down the path I was supposed to be on, so the relationship kept moving forward, one thing led to another, and then I got married to her. It was like I was on autopilot. It's possible I thought I could ignore the other stuff, and I don't know, eventually it would go away.
What are the parts you thought you could ignore?
I don't want to talk about that. I just have this side to me that I haven't told anyone about, that's all.
Oh my god, are you a serial killer?
And I've been feeling that side stronger than ever. I don't know why. I wish I could stop it. It's the worst timing possible.
He probably has childhood trauma. That's my guess.
I can't do this, you know, but I have to. I have to.
I know. That sucks. It's okay to feel the way he feels, but he does have to do it at this point.
Yeah.
I can't believe I've gotten myself into this situation. I pretended to be a normal person for her sake.
I just want to say, if you have these feelings, they're valid. It's okay to feel that way. And it's okay to decide that you don't want to have a family or kids at all. But once you're at the third trimester and that baby's about to pop, gotta stick with it a little bit, you know?
I wish I hadn't been so good at pretending.
This one?
Yeah.
What would happen if you didn't pretend anymore?
Well, then I would just be whoever I felt like. I would be someone else. I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in now. I wouldn't be ruining all these lives. Selena's life, her child's life, our parents' lives. It's not their fault they got stuck with me. I'm the one bringing it all down. How did I let this happen? I'm a shitty person.
No, don't say that.
Yeah.
Okay, Gabriel, let's try something. Imagine that things are better for you. What does that look like?
I can't imagine it. No, I really can't. I'm not gonna run away. I made a promise.
See?
I just need to get through this. It's time for me to man up already and deal with it. Whatever I want, personally, just doesn't matter here, you know? I have a family to protect now. That has to take priority over everything else.
Why do you think this has to take priority over everything else?
I'm a man. That's what men do. I made a promise, and now I have a responsibility.
Do you think, like, his bio dad left or something?
I feel like there's something else that we don't...
Yeah.
Something else, because he's saying that, like, he wants to be himself, that he's not being himself, and that he's pretending to be somebody else. And I don't think that, whatever that thing is, I don't think it's like we joked about it, like serial killer.
I don't think he's an actual.
I don't think he's an actual serial killer, but it sounds like there is something like core to his being that he feels like I can't be this in this relationship with this person.
Sometimes people who had to grow up with severe abuse think that they can't be loved, so they've tricked other people into loving them. And so maybe that's how he feels.
Maybe, but I don't know why he would say it like that he can't be himself.
Yeah, it might be that he's never told them, any of these people, about something really bad that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like something really bad happened, and it's made him have a hard time connecting with people. And so he just assumed, I'll just be alone forever, and I'm fine with that.
Yep.
And then he made a connection with another person, and he's probably never told her about whatever this bad thing is. And now he feels like he's hid this huge part of himself.
Yeah.
That's how I think it is.
We're assuming it's a bad thing, but it could also be like a sexuality thing.
Yeah, true.
Society only works because people accept responsibility and follow through on their promises. If everyone just did what they wanted to all the time, the world would collapse. It would be a disaster. We all want things we shouldn't actually have. That's why I need to reject these other voices and stay on the right path. I'm going to be good, and I'm going to stay good.
See, this makes me feel like there's something...
Yeah, like, what does he think that he's going to do?
Well, but... I don't know.
I won't let all these people's lives be thrown into chaos because of my selfishness. I owe it to them to be the man I'm supposed to be.
What does he think that he's going to do? Other than, like, what he thinks that he's going to abandon his family. But what... I'm, like, scared of what he...
I'm not scared. To me, it sounds like he's somebody who's very hamstrung by, like, a man's role.
Yeah.
And what a man is supposed to do. And that whatever it is that he's thinking that he wants, because like a couple times he was like, because that's what men do, like,
yeah,
and that it sounds like whatever this thing is, it like he's having a hard time like justifying his like perception of like what it means, like masculinity, versus like what his core really wants. And I don't know, just the fact that he like resigned himself to being alone, but he talks about like, I don't really like specifically get the sense that he's like gay, but like it just, a lot of those like nuggets seem to like line up that like,
yeah, I felt like he was gay, but then he ended up dating maybe he's like bisexual or something, but this is in Seattle, so I don't know.
I'm not about to let anyone down because of some noise in my brain.
What is the noise? Like, you're right, maybe it is like I'm attracted to something. I just hope he's not like a pedophile or something. I don't.
Oh God!
You know what I mean? Like for some reason, I was like, he's
afraid
of having
I feel
kids.
like that would be an insanely dark inclusion in this game.
Yeah, I don't know,
and probably doesn't line up with the points that the game is trying to make.
But he says there's also voices. Maybe he has schizophrenia. Or has some sort of just thing, and that's like okay, and he just hides it from people. Like maybe he has a mental illness that he's hiding.
Maybe.
But let's move. Let's find out.
Yeah.
This one?
Sure.
And you're sure you'll be able to keep ignoring what's bothering you?
Well, I have to. I have no choice. I'm already in trouble for making an attempt to talk about it, so... I made the mistake once, but I think Selena and her family are willing to pretend it never happened. And as long as it never happens again, and as long as we just move on like everything's normal. Maybe if you can prescribe me something to, I don't know, make me feel better about all this. Make me okay with the way things are, the way they need to be.
Maybe it's just a lot more simple, like he just wants to leave.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're in a very difficult place right now. You've decided to bury something about yourself that you know is true. Something that can't be revealed even to your closest family members. Look, this isn't Eliza talking, it's me, the person in front of you. And I'm not supposed to talk to you like this, but I just want to say, consider the cost, please. I understand why pretending might seem like your only option. And who's to say, maybe you will be able to live successfully by keeping part of yourself hidden. But there will be a cost, not only to yourself, which you seem determined to pay, but to your future family, too. I've seen firsthand the way parents can turn an inability to face themselves into trauma for their children.
Oh, yeah, because her dad left.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what I can do. Thanks for telling me what you really think, at least. Even though it makes things more complicated. I was hoping I would just get your bullshit answer and I would go on, but now you've gone and said some stuff that really... Look, I don't know you, but I appreciate you trying to help. I don't think anyone really can, but... Are you gonna be okay doing this?
I'll probably get fired. It's okay, though. Don't worry about me. Think about yourself. Think about the future. There might be more options than you think.
I feel like that one we had to deviate.
Mm-hmm. Well then. Deactivation warning. You may be deactivated as an Eliza proxy soon. You have incurred 2 infractions on your... For deviating from the script, further infractions may be deactivated. You may be deactivated. This is to inform you that you have been deactivated. You will no longer blah, blah, blah. Okay. Allison Sophie, thank you. Apologies in advance for the awkwardness here. I'm not even sure I have the right email address, but anyway, here goes. Dear Evelyn, several years ago you came and visited Professor Ralston's class to describe the research work you were doing at Skanda. I was in that class, and of all the guest speakers we had, your words struck a deep chord with me. The moment you explained what drove you to create your listening machines, as you called them at the time, I finally knew what I was going to do with my life. I was a junior then, and now I'm a grad student at the UW Reality Lab, studying ways we can infer the contextual information at the sentence level, blah, blah. Ever since I heard you left Skanda and went off the grid a little while ago, I often wondered what happened to you, thought about writing to you. I thought I might be bothering you and you clearly want to leave everything behind. I finally worked up the nerve this afternoon after a group of high school students came through the lab on a tour. Speaking to the kids, I realized that each of us pays forward our outreach, linking us in a chain that stretches backward and forward in time. That's why it's so important for me to be able to express my appreciation. You inspired me and you continue to do so. Thank you. Allie, no need to reply. Blah, blah.
Well then. Deviating from the Eliza script. How do I feel about that? I'm not used to being rebellious. I wonder what happens now.
We got deactivated? That's what happens?
Yeah.
We got canned?
Worth it. Nora asked if we could hang out again. Soren also wanted to meet up. Honestly, I could probably ask Ray if I could visit her place again too. Could I even tell Rainer I wanted to speak with him again, though I doubt he would take me up on it. I don't have enough social energy for all of them. I'll pick one person to meet up with again.
I like how you could choose nobody.
Nobody.
My vote is Ray.
Yeah, let's go hang. Ray. I'm sure there's more interesting things, but big day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hang out with our girl. I'll ask Ray if I can come over. Make some cookies. I visited Ray at her house again. She started to tell me a story about a disturbed man that showed up at one of her counseling offices.
Sometimes you can just tell, you know. Someone comes into the bar or steps on the bus or whatever, and you see them, and you just know they're gonna cause trouble. That's why I had my eye on this guy the second he walked in. I had this feeling. So by the time he started getting angry, I was totally prepared. I could see him wind himself up. When he finally made that physical threat against the proxy, I just walked in and stopped the session, looked him right in the eye, and told him I was going to escort him out. He screamed in my face and kind of did some light damage to the property, but not enough for us to sue. He didn't touch me, though. He knew the limit. He was just trying to intimidate me.
Wow.
Sounds like abuser stuff.
Yeah.
That's what abusers do. A lot of people are like, he just loses control. And then when you ask questions about it, it'll be like, when he loses controls, he breaks stuff. I'm like, well, not me. But if you ask, whose stuff does he break? Yours, his, or both? Mm-hmm. And it's usually, he breaks my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or he loses control because he was drunk and started beating me up. Oh, but when the police came, he was able to stop himself. Mm-hmm. So it's really, they're not losing control. they know the limits. They just do it as far as they know they can get away with. And women too. Sorry, women can also do this. Sorry. Anybody is capable of learning these behaviors. My bad.
By the time security got there, it was over already.
That's so cool, Ray.
I mean, it was cool of her to just handle it.
That's so cool, Ray. It's amazing you could stay calm with an angry guy in your face like that.
I have plenty of practice. Lots of my jobs had this component of dealing with angry people, disturbed people. And before that, it was my brother, my father. I had to learn how to deal with it to survive. Maybe that's why I'm not so bad at running these counseling centers. The thing is, it's usually not personal. It's someone lashing out because they're in pain. If you can understand that and keep that in mind, it gets a little easier.
But how do you keep that in mind?
I'm not sure. I just kind of zone out. I see someone yelling at me, and it makes me wonder who's being yelled at. It can't be me because I'm not there.
So she's dissociating. It can't be me that they're yelling at me because I'm not... Oh, wait. Or is she talking about work? Is she...
Huh. Maybe Eliza and me, we're not so different from each other.
I think she's also partly saying, like... I mean, I think what she's getting at is that, like, when somebody, like, yells at you, like, for instance, like, if you're at work and, like, somebody, like, I don't know, I've worked in a lot of customer service jobs, and, like, people start screaming at you, and, like, obviously it's very upsetting, and nobody should have to put up with that shit, but at the same time, you're like, this is not personally about me. This person is clearly, like, dealing with some other bullshit, and, like, even though it is still, like, really upsetting to deal with, that always made me feel a little bit better to be like, this isn't about me, you know?
Yeah. There's also, not saying that you're wrong, it's just, and also, that's people who have dealt with, she says, dealing with my father and my brother growing up, I had to learn how to survive. Usually people who've been through that, and if you've been through that and you react differently, it's normal and fine. They have a tendency to shut down and do whatever it is immediately in order to figure out how to calm anybody who's yelling or screaming down. Because that's how they learned how to navigate a situation where you don't know what's going to happen next. It's just be calm, be neutral, figure out whatever you need to do or say to get this person to stop being like that.
Yeah. Not everybody reacts that way, you're right.
What?
I said not everybody reacts that way, you're right.
Yeah, it's normal to react however you want to react.
We both absorb the negative emotions people direct at us.
That's...
Maybe if we say that's not how I see you, we'll elaborate with something nicer? Like...
That's not how I see you, Ray.
Ray looks lost in thought and doesn't seem to hear my answer.
Evelyn, is there anything I can do for you?
Like, right now?
You made my career possible, you know. Without Eliza, I'd still be working random jobs here and there with no purpose or plan. So, I feel like I owe it to you to pay you back somehow.
I'm not sure you owe me anything.
Friendships are not transactional.
Maybe I'm not good for much, but I like to support people. Like, if you ever wanted me to come over and cook you a meal or something...
Yay! You know, asexual girlfriends!
You know, it sounds like she really, like, wants a connection. And, like, you know how some people, they're, like... For some people who, if they have a hard time, like, establishing connections with people, they can look at it as, like, a transactional thing at first because they're like, is this it? Are we doing it?
Is this friendship?
But I think
is she, like, asking us out for romance? Because I'm down with that.
I didn't think so. I think she just, you know.
I want to be asexual lesbians with her.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I might like that.
I think I might like that.
Yeah? I'd really, really love to do that for you. You have a decision to make about what you'll be doing in the next chapter of your life and all. And And I have a feeling whatever you do, it'll have a pretty big impact on the world, if you want it to. And really, you've had one already with Eliza. But now you're going to the next stage, whatever that is, and if there's a chance that... Sorry, I'm not making a lot of sense here. I hope you can feel good about what you're doing because I want you to be happy. You've worked so hard and for so long to try to help people, and you deserve to be happy. You really do.
Ray, thank you. I'll let you know soon, okay?
Yeah, okay. Let me know soon.
The air is so clear and cold here. There's an icy breeze coming over the sound. I wonder how many people I'm seeing right now. All of them with their own feelings and desires, their own fears and hopes and dreams and disappointments. The weight and significance and complexity of human lives. From a vantage point like this, it seems so small and distant. Like I'm not a part of it. Like I'm not part of it, even though I know I am. I'm a part of humanity, even though I don't always like it. Even though it sometimes pushes me away. I don't know why it took so long, but at least I have an answer now. It might not be the only answer, but it's good enough for the moment, and that's more than I had before. Yes, I'm sure now. I'm going to... I like this one. Until I'm a licensed counselor.
Yeah. Because
then she can... I liked having the medium of having Eliza have suggestions and then deviating when we felt like it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that could be helpful.
Yeah, I agree. And also, like, being a licensed counselor, then you can feel like, oh, I have a little bit more experience, like, knowing what is going to help people, not just depending on Eliza, and not just offering our own, like, from our own experience, but, like, having a broader understanding to draw from.
I think Eliza could be a great tool along with... I feel like using Eliza as a proxy for training would be great.
Yeah.
Continue to work as a proxy with Ray until I'm a licensed counselor. The experience of working in the counseling office changed me. I always wanted to help people. Now I realize the best way is listening to people one-on-one, with care, with humanity.
No, this will work.
Are you sure?
I promise.
Please be safe, Damien.
Of course I'll be safe.
Would anyone like to have more wine?
I think I'm good for right now.
See, there it goes.
The flames shudder and wobble as they begin to spread in the logs, which crackle and hiss at the heat. After a while, the wildly leaping flames begin to steady themselves, and we settle in around the pit.
Fire. Agent of destruction and creation.
Something nice about a campfire deep in the woods, isn't there?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming out here with me. I know camping isn't really your thing. Well, I mean, not Evelyn's thing, but I don't know about you, Nora.
Maybe a couple times, when I was a kid.
I thought maybe since we're in pretty deep on all the things we're working on right now, we could all use it. Because I used to, when things got really bad, I'd come out into the woods and just be there. And it helped me. So I thought, maybe it would help you too. I don't know if it'll inspire you or what, but if more people could experience something like this, something with the same meaning it holds for me.
It is nice. Honestly, I've been doing all right. Better than before, that's for sure. Finals are soon, but I'm not too worried.
Evelyn's got her dissertation to finish up.
Oh, how's that going, Evelyn?
Oh, Nora. Nah, I know. You're not supposed to ask how the dissertation is going.
Is that a rule?
Pour me that drink anytime.
Yeah, see?
Yes, let's have a drink. I'm still kind of freezing, even with this fire going.
Nora reaches for her backpack and pulls out a thermos. She hands out plastic cups and pours them a warm, dark liquid.
Okay, this is delicious. You know, I've never actually had mulled wine like this before.
No? In my family, we always had it around this time of year.
You take red wine and add, what? Cinnamon, orange?
Yeah, those, and cloves, and, anise, star anise, and honey. That's it. Quite simple.
It's really warming me up.
That's what it's for. Ugh, so good. Evelyn, you doze off or something?
No, I'm awake. I was just looking at the fire. Kind of staring at it, I guess.
What do you see?
Everyone. People. Us.
I don't know what that means.
I think if we were going to make something to help people, it would be something that helped them see themselves. Something that reflected back on them somehow. Just a thought. It's probably nothing.
No, I like that though. Yeah, something to help you reflect. I think that's the right track. I'm really looking forward to working on these ideas with you two. And just as soon as all this nonsense with school is over.
Everyone regards the fire in silence for a while, sipping Nora's mulled wine.
There's so many bad things happening in the world right now. But I don't know, somehow, for some reason, I feel like the future is going to be okay. I don't know why, I have this feeling that we're the ones. We're the ones who are going to fix it. Not we, like, you know, you or me, but I mean, like, our generation.
Perhaps.
I think we will.
You know, the important thing is to try. I feel like that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to try.
Sometimes you get tired of trying. Well, at least I do.
I wonder what things will be like 10 or 20 years from now. You know, will we have achieved our goals? What would we say to each other? What would we say to our younger selves? The future we want, the future we're trying to create, did it even happen?
Damien looks up at the sky.
Future selves, tell us if it happened, okay? Come back in time, just tell us that you made it happen, please.
Damien.
It's the wine.
It's more than just the wine.
I'm just interested in the future, that's all. My future, your future, humanity's future. Of course, right now, the only future I can picture is the headache I'm gonna have tomorrow morning, but...
No reason to worry about it now.
You know what, you're right. I'll have some more.
Of course.
I think I'm passing out.
Well, it is pretty late.
Good
They
night,
don't
Evelyn.
have sleeping bags.
All right, good night, Evelyn.
Oh, they have a tent right there. Okay. I thought she was literally just gonna lay on the ground.
Yeah, I know you've been working hard, so have a good rest, okay? You deserve it.
I'm back in. You can't keep me out.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Darren.
Hi.
It's nice to see you again.
Thanks. You guys sent a lot of reminders. I was ignoring them for a long time, but I decided to come back. Weirdly enough.
It's been a while since we last spoke. How have you been since our last session?
I mean, ups and downs, right? Everybody has ups and downs. You know, sometimes I feel like I'll be fine, and I'm just ridiculous for getting caught up in something like this, and then sometimes I am caught up in it, and it feels like getting pulled under the ocean, you know, getting sucked down inside this vortex, and you can't breathe or move or anything, tossed around underwater, nothing you could do. So I went to a psychiatrist and got the medication you recommended, but it was a couple of months before I actually took it. For some reason I couldn't bring myself to, not right away.
Why do you think you weren't able to start right away?
I don't know, I might have been afraid. Afraid it would change me somehow? Or that I would be dependent on it, or that I was weak for needing it. But eventually I just got tired of feeling like shit all the time. Just tired of it. And I figured I had nothing left to lose. I either try it or go on like before, right? So I did, and it was interesting.
How was it interesting?
Well, it definitely didn't solve my problems, you know. I mean, it didn't fix me or fix the fact that the world is the way it is. It didn't turn me into someone else, even though I might have wished it could. It definitely didn't make me happy or fill the void or anything, but it did do something, I think. I think it helped me realize that it's possible to feel different. I got a glimpse of something, of what life could be like. a life where what I know is still true, but I'm just more okay with things. Yeah, I don't even know if that's better, really. Listening to myself now, it's a little weird to talk about being okay with all the problems going on in the world, but maybe there's a way to acknowledge the truth without it hurting so much. So am I just numbing myself? You know, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure I want to continue with the medication, but, well, anyways, I have plenty for now, so I think I'll just, you know, use it up and make a decision then.
Let me know if you'd like to try something different. I can make more recommendations. It's important to find the right balance that works for you.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of, like when you take medication for, like, mental health stuff, it's like, there's nothing that's going to make you, like, 100% okay all the time. Mm-hmm. But, like, sometimes it's just about getting you to a point where, like, the anxiety or depression or whatever it is that you're dealing with isn't, like, so unbearable that you cannot function. Mm-hmm. So, like, even if you're still depressed or anxious sometimes, that you're, like, okay, but at least it's at a manageable level. Mm-hmm. So,
you know, at one point I read an article that said some people are just naturally happy and other people are naturally more sad.
Great.
So I wondered if I just happen to be a sad person.
If you kill the happy people, you can take their happiness.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It's an unfair balance of who's distributed the happiness, and I'm just redistributing it to who it deserves to be
You
with.
could be like an arcane horror and just leech energy from people wherever you go.
No, I'm just kidding. If you kill happy people, it redistributes the happiness to other sadder people. So
why wouldn't you just drink it all for yourself?
Because I'm not selfish and I want everybody to be happier. If I just am a serial killer, then everyone would be better off.
And if that was the case, then maybe that's just me, you know, how I am naturally. But then I thought, no, something feels wrong about that. This isn't just a kind of, you know, melancholy. It's the way I've been, the way I've felt. It's too much. It's not a way to live. So I need to figure this out, whatever it is.
Do you feel you are on the path to figuring it out?
Maybe, maybe not. Listen, the real reason I'm here is to say thank you. Not to Eliza, but to you. I had a bad outburst last time, and I got emotional, and I just wanted you to know it wasn't your fault. You told me your name, and I won't forget that.
I won't forget it.
Just a little moment of kindness and connection.
See? Just a tiny little drops.
Yeah,
Love
just
kernels.
Give them just enough humanity and connection to make them think you're a real person.
And then go back to robots.
Yeah.
Look, it was the smallest, simplest thing, but it meant a lot to me for some reason. I think about it a lot. I know you don't make much money, and thank you, Evelyn. Thank you for listening to me. You know, the more I go through the world, those little moments. It's those little moments. Sorry, I'm just rambling.
Please, go ahead. Talk about whatever's on your mind.
No, that's it. That's it.
Thank you, Darren. I'm glad your medication seems to be helping.
I feel like there's been changes to the Eliza because there's more personal things being said by Eliza. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm glad your medication seems to be helping.
As opposed to, like, I'm gonna well, we don't know how it's gonna finish out yet, but...
Let me know anytime if you have updates you'd like to share.
I feel like there's been a change.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner.
Yeah, I think there's been changes to the programming. Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Whoa! Hell yeah!
Evelyn, that guy. Wasn't he the client from a while back?
Hold on, I
just
gotta
need
check my mail.
email. counseling program for Mina. Dear Miss Ashino Aubrey, it was a pleasure to meet you recently to discuss your interest in the Master of Science degree in mental health counseling. Blah, blah, blah. Those courses designed to prepare students to pursue licensure and employment in mental health as a mental health counselor for various settings. You mentioned your background in computer science might be seen as somewhat unusual for someone interested in becoming a licensed mental health counselor. In my experience, counselors come from all walks of life. To this end, your experience in the technology industry does not strike me as any more unusual than those of any other students in our program. On the contrary, your perspective as someone who has worked to address mental health from the angle of computer science might be a welcome addition. I encourage you to apply. Cool.
The one who scared you on your first day?
Yeah, it was. He seemed a lot better this time around. He was taking his medication, making an effort.
That's what I love about this job. Seeing people start to get better. Makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, maybe it does.
So, have you found a school yet?
I found at least one that seems promising. I need to get my materials together to apply.
That's awesome. I'm so happy for you, Evelyn. I'll miss you when you're gone, but I think you're making the right choice for yourself. It's funny how you came to counseling through trying to automate it at first. What a good story. I can just see the article someone would write on you.
It's a little early for that. I just hope I can do well.
I'm sure you will, Evelyn. I know you will.
Aww.
There are so many things I learned just recently. I realized you don't need to play life like a game you're trying to win. I realized the contribution you make to the world isn't always about having the largest effect possible. You don't need piles of money or a case full of awards.
The money helps.
Grandiose projects have unintended consequences. Sometimes, the best you can hope to do is help people, one by one, in your own way. Sometimes just listening to someone is its own reward. Those are the components of a satisfactory life. It's a life I intend to build for myself, starting today.
I think the money helps you survive, but
No,
it's not gonna...
It was a joke. It was a joke. Great game! 10 out of 10.
That was great.
I've been playing so many games lately that nobody knows about and I love.
Yeah.
Greedfall, Eliza. Dude, nobody's playing this game. You guys, everybody, we all have to spread word. Spread word. Ask other YouTubers to play this game on their channel.
Yeah, this was really great. Do you know that I like randomly found this while I was like browsing Polygon at work? Like, I was like on my lunch break at work and and it said something about like mental health or like counseling something. And like that's how I was like, hey, we should take a look at it because they had really positive things to say about it.
Please spread word. Ask other YouTubers to play this game. Tell them it's fully voice acted so they don't have to do all the voices.
I know. That's such
a big difference.
And I totally understand that that's not practical for like every visual novel.
Oh yeah,
but
totally.
Wow, it was really great.
It makes a big difference.
And I think especially in this specific case where you're talking about these therapy sessions, because you're listening to someone's emotional experience. Oh, written in part at the Hospital Field Interdisciplinary Residency.
Cool.
Interesting. But especially like therapy sessions, you know? And it's like, how do people feel about it? I feel like it would just be very different if you or I were acting, putting our own spin on what we thought those characters were saying, instead of like...
But the whole concept of the game is being the listener. So you gotta listen. Great game.
This was really great.
Loved it. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.